So if you're watching this video, I'm assuming that you're thinking about moving to the Dallas, Texas metro, and you're wondering where the best luxury communities are to live in that actually have newer homes. Well, in today's video, we're gonna cover what I believe are the top luxury communities in all of North DFW that have those new construction homes or newer homes, and exactly why I think they are the best. And so you're gonna leave this video with a better understanding of what neighborhoods to look at and what each of them has to offer, as well as a few cons about each as well. Hey, it's Michael Caraway. I'm a realtor here in the Dallas, Texas metro, and on this channel we talk about what it's like to live in the Dallas, Texas metro, as well as some of the best places to live so you can decide if Dallas is a good fit for you. Alright, so the first community we're going to talk about today is the Hills of Kingswood. The Hills of Kingswood is actually located in Frisco, Texas, and it routes to Lewisville ISD. It's located just west of Dallas North Tollway, right here, right off of Lebanon. And this area is great because you can easily access some of the more popular places in Frisco and all around, right? You've got the Star right here, that's just 5 to 10 minutes away. You've got Stonebriar Mall, you've got Legacy West, you've got the Boardwalk, and then it's just a quick jaunt to get up to Main Street over here, or even if you were to look at Frisco Square, or potentially all the new development up in Frisco in the PGA area. It's not a far drive at all. It's just hopping on the tollway and getting up there. So this is a really great spot as far as the position of the neighborhood. Now there's a lot of things that are great about the Hills of Kingswood, but the first thing you'll notice is just how crazy amazing the homes are there. This is one of the newer gated communities in Frisco, and as a result, a lot of people are flocking here and building amazing custom homes. So you're gonna find one-of-a-kind homes in this community. The other unique thing about the community is that there are huge lots. You have plenty of space for your home and have a backyard of your dreams, and some of the views in there are absolutely amazing. And that leads to the third greatest thing about the community, which is all the rolling hills. Some of the houses are positioned on the crests of the hills and actually are some of the higher points in Frisco. So the views that you get, whether it's over Lake Lewisville or just of Frisco in general, are really amazing there. And you can't get that in many places in the Dallas, Texas metro. Now the age of homes in the Hills of Kingswood are gonna range anywhere from 2012 all the way up to actually new construction. So they're still actively building in the Hills of Kingswood. So there's great opportunities to build custom homes in this neighborhood. Price ranges are pretty vast, but realistically, you're gonna have to be in the $1 million range to be in this community. And that range ends up being anywhere from 1 million all the way up to about 5 million. There's actually a few listings that are approaching 7 million, actually a little bit above 7 million in this neighborhood. So there is a huge range, but it's definitely a luxury community. Now I wanna give you some context as to what kind of homes are in this community, right? So the first one I wanna jump into is listed at $3.75 million and has this amazing curb appeal, and the finishes are absolutely amazing. Like, you are getting your money's worth in this community. High-end finishes everywhere. There's really no complaints as far as finishes go, and I want to get out into the yard so you can see what you can actually get here, right? You got a good outdoor space, you've got an amazing pool, and you can see there's plenty of space still out there for kids to run around and all that kind of stuff. So the lots are absolutely amazing in this community. I want to jump back out and show you the cream of the crop of the neighborhood. This is the most expensive listing in Frisco at the moment, and it sits right on top of a hill and overlooks this amazing view. And wait till you see this. As you go through here, the first thing that pops up is the backyard, and the backyard is absolutely insane. It's 3 levels. You've got an infinity pool that drips off into the second level here, goes down to the 3rd level, and you got like a chipping area and a putting green. Absolutely just insane here. Has an indoor basketball court, amazing finishes. Like, it's just an unreal home, and that's what you can expect in the Hills of Kingswood, is this level of finishes in varying sizes of homes, right? If you don't need a 7,000 or 9,000 square foot home, you can get down into the 4,000 square foot range and get a lower price point. Now the Hills of Kingswood is gated and is constantly manned 24/7. So a lot of people really like the security that comes with it. There are a few large greenbelt areas in the community, but you're not gonna see huge parks like you would see in several other communities that we're gonna discuss today. There's also some trails that go through the community, but again, you're not gonna have as many trails as some other communities that we're gonna talk about as well. There's a private natural park within the community, so that's kind of nice to be able to get out into nature a little bit. It runs along a creek that you can go check out, and there is a clubhouse on site. So this is the definition of luxury, and it's gated, and a lot of people love the homes, and that's primarily why people end up in this neighborhood, is just the level of home that you just don't find in a lot of places around DFW. But the major con is that it lacks a lot of the amenities, a lot of the community amenities that we will discuss later on that some of these other neighborhoods do have. So if you're looking for a lot of community amenities like a pool and a bunch of different trails and like tennis courts and all that kind of stuff, this may not be the best neighborhood for you. All right, the next luxury neighborhood we're going to talk about is Castle Hills. Now, Castle Hills is located in Lewisville, just south of the Colony on the south side of Sam Rayburn, and not too far south of Frisco as well. Now, the amazing part about the location of Castle Hills is that you do have a lot of things to do here in the Castle Hills area. It's also a quick jaunt to get up to Grandscape, which has a lot of shopping, dining, all that kind of stuff right there. It's also really easy access to be able to get up to all the other places that we were talking about in the last community, like Legacy West. You've got the Boardwalk, Stonebriar, the Star, really easy jaunt up that way. And it's also closer to Dallas, so you can get in to Dallas a little bit quicker than some of the other areas. So the position of Castle Hills is really honestly great. One of the things that stands out about Castle Hills is that there's actually golf courses in the community, and some of the homes sit alongside the golf course, and it makes a really, really beautiful scenery looking out your back door, looking onto the golf course. So that's something that stands out against some of the other communities we're going to talk about today. Another thing that stands out is that there's over 25 parks on the community, and they're really well done. There's some really unique parks on there, you know, anywhere from just having more of like a Zen garden to be able to go hang out to, you know, your typical kids playground. So there's a lot of variety of parks and a lot of places to go, a lot of destinations to go if you're into walking. And there's actually a town center located in the community itself. So you can walk to a place to be able to go dine or get a drink or get a coffee. You're not gonna have to leave the community to do that, which is a pretty unique thing. Now, homes in Castle Hills were built anywhere from 1998 all the way up to now. There's some new construction opportunities. And price range varies pretty drastically. You're looking at $425,000 all the way up to nearly $4 million. Now, as far as some of the main amenities of the community, one thing that is always asked is whether it's gated or not. And the entire community is not gated, but there are certain portions that do have higher end homes that are gated. So there is that opportunity within Castle Hills. There's also a country club within Castle Hills that you can access and all the golf courses that come along with it. So a lot of people like that about it. There's also over 6 miles of community trails. So that gives you plenty of opportunity to walk around and enjoy paved trails everywhere throughout the community. As I mentioned earlier, there's over 25 parks, there's tennis courts, there's pools, there's a workout center, just a ton of amenities packed within the Castle Hills area. Now, I want to give you an idea of what kind of homes are within the community, and the first one I want to pull up is listed at $1.4 million, and this one has an amazing view out the back to a golf course. It's got this beautiful yard with the pool, but as you'll see when we jump inside, it does lean a little more traditional than some of the newer construction communities that we're going to cover today. And so that's one of the downfalls, and it's just the case for a lot of these homes that are in the $1 million plus range that are older, and they may require some updates. That being said, there are new construction opportunities like I'm going to show you right now. And this is a unique opportunity. It's listed at $2.4 million right now. And as you can see, it's super contemporary. It's got a amazing elevation on the outside and a unique yard, and it's a great lot. So there's new construction opportunities in Castle Hills. They're hard to come by and very rare, but there is that opportunity. But if you're also looking for a resale home, you know, you can get them cheaper than some of the other communities and still be able to put that extra money into updating them. So few options there. Now, as far as cons about the community, one of them is that not the entire community is gated. So we've already talked about that. That's just something to consider. And the other con is that the lots just aren't that huge in Castle Hills. A majority of the community is really tight. They pack the homes in really tight there. But as you continue to climb in budget, obviously you get bigger lots and you get a little bit more space. All right, so the next community we're going to talk about is the Tribute. And the Tribute is located in the Colony, but technically I consider it Frisco. Now, to be clear, it is not actually Frisco, but it's right on the edge of Frisco. So as you can see on the map here, this whole area right here that we're looking at is Frisco. And we cross over Main Street right here and we get into the Colony. And this area right here, this whole peninsula on Lewisville Lake, is the Tribute area, and it's one of the coolest neighborhoods around because it's on a peninsula, and that gives you just a completely different lifestyle that you can get in a lot of DFW. So this is a unique neighborhood. The cool thing about being on the peninsula is that there's multiple places that you can actually access the water with a kayak, or if you're trying to fish or something like that. You can't get that in other communities, so that's super unique. And the other cool thing is that it's positioned on a golf course. Actually, 2 golf courses are right there, and you have the ability to be able to drive a golf cart or walk to the clubhouse, which has multiple dining options. So has that really cool, tight-knit community feel that kind of is built around the golf course and the golf club. Now, homes in the Tribute neighborhood were built anywhere from 2008 all the way up to new construction today. The price range is anywhere from about $550,000 all the way up to $2.4 million. Now, there's a wide variety of homes in the Tribute, and I want to make sure to show you a few different ones here. This one's currently listed at $1.2 million. It's a corner lot, beautiful curb appeal. It does lean a little bit more traditional, but the inside is absolutely beautiful, right? Big, tall ceilings, great open floor plan, spacious throughout every single room, really nice finishes. This is a typical home that you'll find in the Tribute when you get into the $1 million range. Now, another option that I want to show you here is new construction. Like I mentioned, there are new construction homes in the neighborhood, and there's actually quite a bit available in the $500,000 to $600,000 range. For this video, I'm showing a little bit higher of a price point, and this is again almost at $1.2 million. But you get a nice curb appeal, you get a nice floor plan. This actually gives you a little bit of insight into what it looks like in that area. Absolutely beautiful landscape, super unique. You got the community pool. Several different options within the Tribute as far as homes go. Now, the Tribute is one of the most amenity-packed communities that we're going to talk about today. There's so much to do there. We'd already talked about the golf courses. We talked about being able to kayak, multiple access points to Lake Lewisville. That's super great. You have the trails within there that you can use your golf cart on, or you can walk. There's also what's super unique, literally hundreds of acres of open space for you to be able to walk around, hike, and get out into the outdoors there. So that's a super unique thing for being in the city as well. You've got a clubhouse with on-site restaurants, you've got a dog park, you've got pickleball courts, you've got the pool, you've got an award-winning on-site resident lifestyle director, so there's events going on all the time in the community. So just a lot going on in the Tribute and a really active community, and honestly, I love the community. But there are a few cons that you want to consider that we're going to talk about today, and the first is that larger lots are really hard to come by. They are positioned on smaller lots. Even once you get into the $1 million range, you're getting a bigger house, but the lots still seem kind of packed in there, kind of tight, so you're not getting huge yards for the most part. There's some exceptions to that. And the second is that most parts of the Tribute are not gated. There are specific portions that are gated, especially when you get into that higher price point, but generally speaking, most of the Tribute is not gated. All right, the next community we're going to talk about is Windsong Ranch, and Windsong Ranch is actually in Prosper, Texas, so it's just north of Frisco, right on the other side of 380. And for those that watch a lot of my videos, I always talk about the downfalls of 380, how it's always packed and super just a hassle to commute on all the time. That is one of the downfalls right from the get-go that I'm going to say, is that you are on the north side of 380, right? The positive about this right now is that it's literally just crossing 380 to be able to get into Frisco, and you're going to be right there where all of the new PGA headquarters developments is going. All of the new development is going to have town centers, your dining, your shopping, everything literally 5 minutes away. Very little reason to actually have to commute on 380. And with this recent extension of Dallas North Tollway, you are actually able to go across 380 without ever having to wait for a traffic light or anything like that. There's a bridge over 380, and you can take this back way into Windsong Ranch. So this community, because it is so close to 380 and so close to Frisco, 380 is not such an issue as some of the other communities that we could talk about. But just know that right from the get-go is that 380 is busy, there's not near enough lanes, and hopefully eventually that'll be solved, but right now it can be a hassle. Now, being up in Prosper, you can easily get to the gates of Prosper over in this area here, which has a ton of different shopping experiences right here in Prosper. You also got downtown Prosper over here. So there's stuff to do in Prosper. especially if you get over here, you got like your Home Depot and some restaurants and stuff you can get to really quickly. But for the most part, if you're in Prosper, you're going to be commuting into Frisco to be able to do a lot of the bigger things like Legacy West, the Star, all that kind of stuff. You can still get down there relatively quickly within 15 minutes or so, depending on where you're going. So the position of Prosper, it is further north, not as convenient as some of the other places that we've talked about today, but being out there a little bit further north does come with some benefits. One of the first thing that jumps out about Windsong Ranch is that there are so many amenities and really unique amenities. And this neighborhood has really kind of become the gold standard of master plan communities in the DFW Metro. At least for me personally, I reference Windsong Ranch as kind of the premium go-to spot if you're looking for just a great place to be able to live outside of your home as well, right? And we're going to talk about specifically what that means and what kind of amenities there are, but just know there are a ton of amenities in Windsong Ranch. The second thing that's super unique about Windsong Ranch, and it's actually one of the amenities, is the lagoon. There's a 5-acre lagoon, absolutely massive, and it's absolutely beautiful. It looks like you're literally on a beach. It's got like the really, really crisp blue waters. They've got the ability to go out in kayak, stand on paddleboard, lay on the beach. You can swim in it. It's just absolutely beautiful, completely man-made. It's super clean, super unique. One of the most unique features of any community around. So that is definitely a benefit of Windsong Ranch. And the third unique thing, and it's also an amenity of the community, is that there's over 30 miles of hike and bike trails within the community. So you can literally hike and bike forever and not touch everything in the community. So that is a great spot if you're active. Now, homes in Windsong Ranch were built anywhere from 2015 all the way up to 2023. They're still actually building homes now. And I want to give you an idea of some of the homes, especially as you're getting into some higher price points. Now, keep in mind, you have plenty of options if you're in the lower price points like what we talked about earlier. But for example, let's just jump into this beautiful new construction opportunity right here, listed at 1.1 million. Beautiful contemporary look on the outside, great floor plan here. Just absolutely beautiful Dries home. It's really hard to beat a Dries home. They're absolutely a great builder. Let's jump into one that's a resale so you can get a better idea of that. Actually, I've got to show you this new construction quick. This one is absolutely mind-boggling. The curb appeal there. This gives you an idea of the level that you can get to. And by the way, there's a lagoon that I was talking about. But yeah, you get to a completely different level when you get into the $1.5 million range. What a beautiful custom home there. But like I said, resale home, we can jump into this one. Just under $1.1 million, great curb appeal, and like amazing finishes. So you get a lot for your money when you get into that $1 million range in Windsong Ranch. So as far as amenities go, like I said, there's over 30 miles of hike and bike trails, 600 acres of open space. It feels super spacious in there. You got plenty of greenery to be able to go out and just hang out with the family. It's beautiful there. You've got a community garden, you've got dog parks, you've got that 5-acre lagoon we talked about. There's tennis courts, pickleball courts, basketball courts. There's a fitness center. There's an on-site cafe. You can go grab a bite to eat or a coffee. So just tons within the Windsong Ranch area, which makes it really cool to be able to get up in the morning, go for a jog or go for a bike ride, be able to go get a coffee from the cafe, then go check out a park. Like, you can spend a whole day within the community just kind of walking around and experiencing what the community offers. So absolutely love that about Windsong Ranch. And the major con about Windsong Ranch is we've already talked about it. It's 380. It's something that you're going to have to deal with in some way if you're going to live up north. It's a temporary thing. Hopefully over time it continues to get better, but there's ways to avoid it because of where Windsong Ranch is positioned. So just keep that in mind. All right, the next community we're going to talk about is Newman Village. And Newman Village is located in Frisco, Texas. It's actually a little bit more on the north side of Frisco than some of the other communities we're talking about today. Just off of El Dorado and the Dallas North Tollway, Newman Village is located right there. Just north of the Trails neighborhood, the Trails Golf Club, which is a really popular golf club in Frisco, and just north of Frisco Square and the Rail District right here. So you have some things that are really close to you if you live in Newman Village, and you're actually a quick jaunt to be able to get down to Grant Park, which is a new park and a huge, massive park that just opened up in Frisco. So that's pretty cool. Then you have the Star that's a little bit further south. So in my opinion, it's a great position, especially when you know that all of this right here is being developed into tons of different town centers. You have your new PGA headquarter, golf courses, just a ton of stuff happening up in this area as well. So it's a great position in my opinion, as everything in DFW continues to move more and more north. It's kind of like the edge of where everything is already developed. You don't feel like there's any new development around you, but you can quickly access all the new development that's coming up over the next few years. So great position from my perspective. One of the most unique things about Newman Village is that there are really unique common spaces. The community really put a lot of intentionality into all of the common spaces that they designed, and honestly just feels really artistic. It's a super zen vibe in all of the community areas, especially like the little parks that they have. It's just a great place to just sit down and hang out and enjoy the weather around. It's a cool spot. So that's a unique thing about Newman Village. The other unique thing is that there are really unique homes there. It has this European feel, which is definitely way different than a lot of the communities in Texas. You know, a lot of them are lean a little bit more traditional or a little more contemporary, where this does have that European feel. So that's super unique, and it can also be kind of a con as well. So just something to consider there. Now, the age of homes in Newman Village were anywhere from 2008 all the way up to new construction opportunities today. The price range is anywhere from $1 million all the way up to $4 million. So as of now, there's actually only 2 active listings in Newman Village. So I'm gonna hop in and show you both opportunities. The first one's listed just under $2 million, and it's a beautiful curb appeal. Inside, super spacious, but as you can see, it does lean a little bit more traditional than a lot of the homes that you would see in Texas now. And we're gonna jump back and check out this one that's listed at $1.3 million. A little bit more modern on the outside than the last home we looked at. Again, leans a little more traditional inside, which is great for some people and not so great for others. So it just kind of depends on your taste. Regardless, you can't object to the fact that this is a beautiful home and beautiful neighborhood. So Newman Village is great, and there's actually new construction opportunities as well. I believe they have about 30 lots that they're selling right now to be able to build custom homes on. So that's always an opportunity as well if you're looking for a custom home. Now, I already mentioned one con about the neighborhood, which also could be a pro, and that is that they are very unique homes that lean a little bit more European on the exterior. And so that's just something to consider if that's not your taste. And the other con is that there's just not as many amenities in the community as like a Windsong Ranch or the Tribute. You don't have a ton of things to do within the community, so just something to consider if you're looking for an amenity-packed place. It may not be the best fit. All right, so the next community that we're going to talk about is Edgestone at Legacy, and Edgestone at Legacy is located in Frisco, Texas. It's actually located just off of Dallas North Tollway, right off of, what is this road? Stonebrook, I believe. Stonebrook and Legacy, so it's positioned right here and not too far away from the hills of Kingswood, which we talked about earlier. So the location is great in the fact that you could literally walk to Grand Park, which is going to be one of the most sought after parks in Frisco. Right now there's only one trail that's open up there, but for context, like this is a bigger park than Central Park in New York City. So there's a massive amount of land here that's going to be developed over time into more and more trails and parks within that area. So that's a huge benefit of being in Edgestone. You also have the B.F. Phillips Community Park and the Southwest Community Park that has a dog park down here. Quick access to some restaurants right down in that area, and the Star, and again, your Stonebriar Mall, Legacy West, all that good stuff that you can get to relatively quickly from Edgestone. What makes Edgestone really unique is, one, the homes are absolutely beautiful there. In my opinion, some of the more beautiful homes in Frisco, especially at the price point that they're at. The second thing that really stands out about Edgestone is the beautiful amenities. There are not a ton of amenities within Edgestone, but the ones that they do have look really nice. And the third benefit of Edgestone is that it's a really great location, one of the best locations we're going to talk about today, and that's a huge benefit from my perspective. So homes that are in Edgestone were built anywhere from 2017 all the way up to 2023. They're still constructing homes in Edgestone. Price ranges anywhere from $722,000 all the way up to $2 million. So we have a few different homes that are listed in the community right now, and I'm just going to jump into this one's listed at $1.4 million. Beautiful exterior, and it's got this huge grand ceilings as you walk in. Really, honestly, just a great blank slate, new construction for you to be able to go in and customize it to your exact liking. It's a great template for you to be able to go in and just really make a nice home in this neighborhood. This other one that's listed is currently at $1.3 million, leans a little bit more traditional. Again, new construction, interior is very nice, but just something to note is this floor plan, by the way, I love it. These ceilings are absolutely incredible. But just something to note, these listings that we're looking at right now do definitely lean a little bit more traditional. But what I'll say is that there are plenty of opportunities within Edgestone that are more contemporary. And actually, the contemporary homes typically are in this price range, about $1.5 million. There's also some contemporary options if you're looking a little bit below $1 million in the $800,000 to $900,000 range. Really beautiful homes that you can check out as well. Now, as far as amenities go in Edgestone, you've got a resort style pool. It's absolutely incredible. One of the best parts about Edgestone, in my opinion. You've got plenty of parks and playgrounds within the community. One of the main playgrounds right towards the front of the community is incredible. It's a great place for kids to play. It's brand new. It's amazing. There's an on-site gym. You have outdoor fire pits. You've got trails throughout the community. So you've got a lot within Edgestone, but compared to a place like Windsong Ranch or the Tribute, you don't have anywhere near the amount of those amenities. So it is a good balance between somewhere like the hills of Kingswood, which does not have many amenities at all, to in contrast Windsong Ranch. It kind of sits right in the middle of those two as far as amenities go. Now, the biggest con about Edgestone is that it's not gated. And so once people get into the $1 million range, they sometimes hope that you can get a gated community. And it's for some people, it's not for some people. Honestly, it doesn't matter. What does matter is that all these communities have really strong HOAs. They're going to be beautiful. They're going to be well maintained. And so if that's the thing that you're looking for, then these communities could be a consideration for you, especially like Edgestone or Windsong Ranch, where they're not necessarily going to be gated, but you're going to have a beautifully looking property, and your neighbor's going to have great looking properties and all that kind of stuff. So just keep that in mind. And the second con to Edgestone is that the lots are pretty tight. There's actually very few lots where you get a lot of space. It kind of just depends on the positioning of the lots. Some corner lots are definitely bigger, but it does feel relatively packed in there. So if you're looking for a lot of space, then Edgestone might not be for you. And the last community we're going to talk about today is Star Trail. Star Trail is located in Prosper, Texas. It's actually not too far away from Windsong Ranch. Windsong Ranch is here just above 380, and Star Trail is positioned just above 380 as well, pretty much straight north of Dallas North Tollway. So as far as positioning goes, you still have access to the same things that you would with Windsong Ranch, so I'm not going to go too much into that. The one thing that is a little bit more unique about Star Trail's position is that you're very close to downtown Prosper, and you're very close to the gates of Prosper, so you're a little bit closer to some of those more popular areas within Prosper to go dine and shop and things like that. The other unique thing about the position of Star Trail is that you literally just have to hop onto Dallas Parkway, and you can go straight over 380 without ever having to actually cross it. You just go over a bridge, and you don't even have to deal with it. So that is music to my ears. Now, one of the most unique things about Star Trail, similar to Windsong Ranch, is just how many amenities are in this community. It's absolutely an amenity-packed location. So that is one of the biggest benefits. The other benefit is that you do get really beautiful homes in Star Trail. And the last benefit that I would mention is that a lot of the homes are new. The homes in Star Trail were actually built anywhere from 2017 all the way up to 2023. They're still building homes there today. Homes range anywhere from $650,000 all the way up to $1.5 million. So we're going to jump into this listing right here, which is listed at nearly $1.4 million. It's a 4,300 square foot house, beautiful curb appeal, corner lot, and really nice finishes inside. It's a great home for $1.4 million. So just a great example of what you can get in Star Trail. We'll hop into another example. This one's listed at $830,000. It's a little bit lower price point. It's actually 3,100 square foot, so still a good sized home. Beautiful exterior. Again, similar interior to the last one, just a little bit less space. So beautiful home that you can get in Star Trail. Now, as far as amenities go, there are a ton to cover, so buckle up here. You have a lot of lakes within Star Trail that have fishing opportunities and just being able to enjoy the scenery of water. So that's a huge part of it. There are miles of trails for hiking and walking and biking. You have a 5-acre community and amenity center. The amenity center has tons of stuff. They got outdoor like lounging areas. They got fireplaces and TVs outside. You've got 3 resort style pools. What else is there? There's 2 pavilions with grills that you can go out and grill with friends and have outdoor tables that are around there to just be able to chill and eat some good food. Got a 1-acre children's playground with a covered picnic pavilion. You've got lighted tennis and pickleball courts. You've got a on-site elementary school right within the community, so that's huge. Tons of playgrounds, basketball courts, and there's a second amenity center opening up in 2024 with additional pools, playgrounds, and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot going on in the Star Trail neighborhood, but the one con that I would consider is, again, the fact that you're positioned above 380. Because we now have that extension over 380, where it makes it so you do not have to necessarily deal with 380 to be able to get down into Frisco and get into Dallas. It definitely makes it a little bit more of an appealing situation compared to a year ago. But it is something that ultimately you will have to deal with at some point if you live up there. So no matter where you are in the process, reach out. I'd love to help you find the right place to call home here in the Dallas, Texas metro. Shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email anytime. Seriously, I'm here to help you find the perfect fit here in the Dallas, Texas metro. Until next time, I'll see you later.